Yeah. Assume I stored a pizza. Okay. From that, if I want to store it, will I directly throw it in the refrigerator? No, right? I'll do some packaging, or at least I'll keep it in a tiffin, right? Or I'll at least wrap it with a plastic or keep it in the tiffin, right? So similarly, glucose cannot be directly thrown into the refrigerator of the plant or the storage cells of the plant. Therefore, the plant will convert glucose into starch to store it. Starch is a storable form of glucose in plants. In human body, again, it's different. Okay, we'll learn it in the next chapter. Now, glucose is converted to starch to store it. Okay, when it is extra. Okay, now this starch, when animals eat the plants, they can use this starch for their life, right? Because how will get energy from a plant? Because it contains starch, right? A simple, very easy example is potato. Okay, potato has so much of starch. You know, before making French fries, what we do? We just cut them and leave it in soaked water, right? And after soaking
Salt water.
half an hour, you see, or you have not done, then try it and see. After cutting it into the French fry shape, throw it into water, means not throw it, soak it into water for at least half an hour or 1 hour. After 1 hour, you'll see the water becoming whitish or a layer of some dirt, white color dirt on the water. It isn't dirt, it's starch. Potato has so much of starch. You will be able to observe that starch in that water. Okay, so this is a simple experiment. Okay, so that starch potato is having. So from that potato, we'll get that instant energy. Why instant? Because glucose is converted into starch. And again, this starch would be processed in our human body. Okay. So the first point we get here is, the use of starch by animals for their life processes. Use of starch by animals for their life processes. Okay, I'm putting it into a cloud. You can also put it in any shape. Okay. This was the first point. Okay, we'll make a simple flowchart like this. Okay. Now coming to the second thing. Okay, so herbivores can directly, now we know the food chain, right? Herbivores will eat the plant, and omnivores or carnivores will eat the herbivores, right? So similarly, that starch would be transferred into the omnivores and carnivores also. Now, coming to oxygen released after photosynthesis is used by plants and animals for respiration. Now, why is it given the oxygen is used by plants? Because plants use carbon dioxide, right? This is the main difference. See, plants also have two processes. During the day, we studied that for photosynthesis, sunlight is required. And that is available only during the day, not during the night. This is an important part. Listen. Okay. So plants do photosynthesis only during the day. Why? Because sunlight is available only during the day. That is, during the day, the process is photosynthesis. Photo, you should remember night. Okay. During the night, there is no sunlight. What will the plant do? The plant will do respiration. It is the process done by humans. But plants will also do it during the night. Why? Because sunlight is not there. Now in respiration, what will it do? It will also take in oxygen. That's why our elders say you should not sleep near a plant during the night. Why? Because your surrounding oxygen also the plant will take. Okay. So plant does during the day photosynthesis and during the night it does respiration. So for this respiration, the photosynthesis product O2 is useful. Okay, you can write it in this form itself. Okay, again I'll make one more cloud here for this. Or if you don't want to mention photosynthesis and day and all again, you can just mention plants, night, respiration and O2 produced during photosynthesis. Okay. Second cloud done. Okay. Importance also completed, right? One more just point. Then we have completed two main topics. That is the importance of photosynthesis and what is photosynthesis. Coming to the third point. Third point is that photosynthesis helps to maintain balance between carbon dioxide and oxygen in the atmosphere. Now we all know that our Earth is covered with a layer of atmosphere, right? Which protects us from the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. Right? Ultraviolet means harmful rays. Okay. So these harmful rays are protected, okay, by the atmosphere. Our atmosphere, like how today it was so cold, right? Near around south Bangalore around. Okay. So it was so cold. So what people do? They wear sweaters. Why? To protect themselves from cold. Similarly, our Earth has a 24-hour or 365 day into 24 hours sweater or shield, which is called atmosphere. This atmosphere should have a balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay. Now, our sweaters, they aren't completely wool, right? They are mixed with wool and cotton, right? Now, what if the sweater is having fully cotton? You will feel cold, right? Cotton will not absorb cold, right? But if it is fully wool, it's fine, okay. But after it is fully wool, it will become this thick. Fully this thick sweater who wears? Okay, if you will wear that thick sweater, you will start sweating. So we want a moderate thing. Neither the whole thing should be wool or neither the whole thing should be oxygen or cotton. Similarly, in our atmosphere, the whole thing neither should be oxygen, neither it should be carbon dioxide. There should be a balance. Okay. So therefore, the third point goes like there should be a balance between oxygen, that is O2, and CO2, carbon dioxide. Okay, one more cloud. So now how should I remember these 3 points? Okay, these 3 super important points. So first of all, use of starch, then respiration, then balance. Okay, you can remember in any form, right? Let's remember first this one. That is respiration. And second, I'll remember this one. Third, I'll remember this one. So, let me tell you a simple story. Okay, we woke up in the morning today, right? What did we do? First, we respire. Okay, we respire 24 hours. But after getting up in the morning, first we'll respire, of course. Okay, and second, what we'll do? Second, we'll have something. Okay, we are hungry in the morning after doing an 8-hour fast, right? We'll break that fast with our breakfast. Okay, now the breakfast is starch. Okay, first thing you will respire, then you will eat your breakfast, that is starch, and then you will balance your clothes. Means you will, if it is hot outside, you will wear some light clothes. If it is cold, then you will wear some sweater or something. So you will balance your body temperature or you will balance your clothes. You can simply remember it like this. Getting up in the morning, breathing, eating something, and then balancing your clothes. You can remember it in these 3 ways. Okay. Now done with this thing. Done writing, everybody? Yes, I got the thumbs up. More to thumbs ups I need. Okay, one more I got. Yes, done. Fourth also I got. Now, coming to. Okay, importance done. So with this, our autotrophic nutrition, the hashtag plant story is completed. Okay. So many years we learned about plants, right? Still this year also we are learning. In 10th also you will learn about plants. Everywhere plants are missing. Okay. So now we will go towards the heterotrophic or the dependent organisms. Okay. This topic will finish it off with one single flowchart only. See, starting with first one, heterotrophic. Heterotrophic. Obviously, the organisms which follow autotrophic were called autotrophs. Similarly, the organisms which follow heterotrophic mode of nutrition are called heterotrophs. Okay. Now, what is the first type in that? Now, heterotrophic nutrition, the definition is given. That is, it is the kind of nutrition where an organism is dependent on another organism. Right? You are depending on your mother. I am also dependent on my mother. Okay. So similarly, now organisms that exhibit this type of nutrition are called heterotrophic organisms or heterotrophs. Now coming to the first thing. First type. Okay, I can discuss types. Types. First is parasitic. Parasitic plants. Okay, plants. Parasitic plants. Okay, parasitic plants. Now, some plants use modified roots which help them to get nutrients from another plant. Such plants are called parasites. Okay, we'll go into it pretty deeply. Okay, a parasite is an organism that gets its nutrition from another living organism. Okay, the living organism from which the parasite gets its food is known as the host. So simple, imagine. Okay, there is you all have seen a honeybee, right? Honeybees are quite common, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I think Kansha got disconnected. Yeah. So parasitic plants. Okay. So honeybees are quite common. So let's imagine a honeybee. Okay. Okay. Let's assume it's a honeybee. Okay. So honeybees, what they do? They go to a flower and they suck the nectar. Right? They suck the nectar of the flower. Now, after sucking the nectar, does the flower die? No. No, right? So, what is the honeybee doing? It is just taking the nutrients from the plant without even harming it. Okay, so this is called parasitic nutrition. Okay, honeybee is a parasitic animal or parasitic insect. Yeah, Ashia, you have any doubt?
Akansha can't join the class. She has another class to attend.
Yeah, okay. I'll send the recording to her. Okay. So, now parasitic animals are those which take in the nutrition from the host. Means, host is the animal or the living thing that is giving nutrition to it. Okay. It takes the nutrition from the host without killing it. Okay, you should remember without killing it. So, what are parasitic plants? Parasitic plants are the plants which take in nutrition from other plants. For example, simple example I'll take. Okay, here the examples are given up in textbook. It's given dodder. Okay, and the second one is mistletoe. Mistletoe. Okay, so what does the dodder do? Okay, the dodder has no chlorophyll. Okay, it has no chlorophyll, so it cannot make its own food. So what it does, it sends, now let us assume this is a plant. Okay, now let us assume here is some dodder kind of structure. Okay, now this doesn't have chlorophyll, so it will send its roots towards the roots of the plant, which is having the tendency to make its own food. Okay, and this dodder, what it will do? It will absorb the minerals and water found by the plant having chlorophyll, and it will take it off. Okay, it will absorb the water and minerals from one plant which is having chlorophyll towards itself. Okay, it will not directly absorb it from the soil. It will absorb it from other plants' roots. This is parasitic. Now, a parasite such as dodder is totally dependent on this, right? If there is no water in it, this will die out. Hence, it is totally dependent on the other living organism. Okay, such an organism or such a parasite is called total parasite. Total parasite. Now, if I say mistletoe, the second example, okay, it has green leaves. This has green leaves. Okay, then why doesn't it make its own food? Because it cannot get water and minerals from the soil. Okay, so hence this also takes water and minerals from the soil, but is not totally dependent. This first example, dodder will take its food also, but mistletoe will take only water and minerals because it is partially dependent or it is a partial parasite. Okay, now coming to parasites is clear. Okay, now coming to second one, insectivorous plants. With the name only we can understand. Insectivorous means eating insects. Insectivorous plants, they are the plants which get their nutrition by trapping and digesting insects. These plants are called insectivorous plants. They use modified structures. Like I will give you an example of pitcher plant or the Venus flytrap. A pitcher plant is a plant that has like this structure. And in this, it's having a different structure itself. In this bag-like structure, there are different structures on inside, which will trap an insect which it gets in. Okay. Okay. So it has a different structure, like it will trap in the insect inside, and it will release the juices which will digest the insect inside this part of bag-like structure. Okay. Similarly, pitcher plant, it has two parts like this. Okay, it has two parts like this, and whenever insect flies near to this, it will close off. Okay, and inside it has some needle-like structure which will kill and digest the insect. Okay, so the two examples are firstly the pitcher plant. Okay, pitcher plant. From pitcher plant, you should remember it is a bag-like plant, and the second is the Venus flytrap. Venus flytrap. Okay, this is the second type. Now coming to a pitcher plant, as we explained, it has leaves that are modified to look like a pitcher or a large jug-like structure or a bag-like structure. Okay, now coming to saprophytes. Okay, I'll come that side. It's saprophytes. Okay, what are saprophytes? They are organisms that get their nutrition from dead and decaying plants or animals. Okay, they get their nutrition from dead and decaying material. Okay, so you got to know the difference that is parasitic get their nutrition from living. Insect, they take the living and kill it. While saprophyte, they take their nutrition from already dead animals or plants. Okay, now for example for saprophytes, it has fungi and some bacteria. Okay, now coming to the next one. Next one is symbiotic plants. Symbiotic plants. Now, symbiotic plants, okay, so symbiosis means there is a relation, okay. Now, first of all, biotic means living thing. Sim means together, living together, or living a relation is called symbiotic relation. Okay, so a relationship between two organisms that benefits both of them is called symbiosis or a symbiotic relationship. Okay, relationship between two organisms which benefits the both is known as symbiotic relationship. Okay, now an organism that is involved in this type of relationship is called symbiont. Symbiont. Okay, so the important words are symbiont, symbiosis, and symbiotic relationship. Okay, they can ask what is symbiotic relationship. They can ask define a symbiont. What is the process of symbiosis? Symbiotic relationship. Okay. Okay. Now, for example, lichens. Now, what do these lichens do? The lichens are an example of such an association or such a relationship between two organisms. So, a lichen is made up of an alga and a fungus. Okay, it is made up of an alga plus fungus. Okay, alga and fungus. Where alga is an autotroph making its own food, while fungus is a saprophyte. It is a saprophyte which takes its food from dead and decaying material. Okay, now what these two do? The alga makes the food. It is the kitchen. Okay, it makes the food. Okay, and then while the fungus absorbs water and minerals. So this is the water absorber. Okay, so these two are in relationship which is known as symbiotic relationship. Now, rhizobium is a bacterium that is found in the root nodules of some plants. Now, what is nodules? Nodules means seed. This is a plant, assume. Okay, now this is the root. In the root, there are some big, sometimes mud particles which form, fully mud rock type of structure. These rock type of structures are known as nodules. Okay, so in those rock nodules, there is a bacterium called rhizobium. Okay, so these rhizobium are found in the roots of some plants, as an example, peanut and beans. So it converts the nitrogen present in the air into the form which is usable by the plant. This is another example of symbiotic relationship. Okay, now heterotrophic nutrition done. Okay, we are done with heterotrophic, we are done with autotrophic. Everybody writing notes done?
Yes, ma'am.
I had a doubt.
Yeah.
About the saprophytes. I didn't understand that saprophytes.
Okay. Now coming again to saprophytes. Saprophyte is an organism which takes its nutrients from dead and decaying material. Means what it does, for example, okay, if a lion has eaten a deer, okay, it has hunted and eaten a deer, it will not eat it fully, right? It will not clean its the space. So what will happen? The dead remains of the deer, the soil will clean it up. The soil has certain types of organisms such as earthworms. These earthworms or saprophytes, what they'll do, they'll eat it in small pieces, break that deer skin down, and then decompose into the soil. Now, soil will have these dead remains, and they will convert into organic, what we say, humus. Right? We have learned in the soils, the structure of soil. That is, humus is the most fertile layer of soil. Why? Because it has so many different types of organic material, which is the dead remains. Okay, these dead remains are in the form of big forms. Okay, so these big forms can be broken down by these saprophytes. Okay, understood?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, any doubt in heterotrophic mode of nutrition, everybody?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay. Now we'll quickly finish off with the returning of nutrients to the soil, and then I'll give you a 10 minutes break. After that, we'll start our next chapter. Okay. Now, what is the returning of nutrients to the soil? We take so many things from the soil, right? We take the plants, we take the nutrients, right? So, how will we return these things to the soil? Okay, the topic is returning nutrients to the soil. So, how will we return these nutrients to the soil? Okay, so this can be done that plants absorb nutrients from the soil for their growth, right? What do plants do? They take out the nutrients, right? What is this in the soil? We learned that there is nitrogen, right? Nitrogen is indicated by the letter N. Okay, so this nitrogen is taken in by the roots, okay, and used by the plants, right? So over the time, this decreases the amount. Now every day, some amount of nitrogen the plant will take from the soil. So what will happen? The soil will become nitrogen deficient or deficient. Means deficient means what? Means there would be a lack of nitrogen in this soil. Okay, now how can this nitrogen or how other nutrients can be returned? They can be returned by applying manures or fertilizers. Now, recently we have many types of fertilizers. One of them is NPK. This is a type of fertilizer. This is a fertilizer. Why I am saying fertilizer? Because it's made in factories or industries. Okay, it's made in industries. Okay, so it is made in industries, so it is called a fertilizer. If I put the tea leaves and all into the soil, it is called a manure because it is organic. Okay, because it is organic. Now this is not organic, this is made in industries. So it is called fertilizer. And this NPK, what is the full form? N, nitrogen, P, phosphorus, K, potassium. These three are the nutrients needed by the plant, and this is lacking in the soil. So these three are added together in the form of fertilizer into the soil. I just write it down, that is nitrogen, P, phosphorus, and K, potassium. Okay, understood? Now, these methods include the action of saprophytic organisms called decomposers. So now we learned that how saprophytes, decompose or break down big materials into smaller ones and help the soil in collecting humus. Right? So this is called decomposition or breaking down of the dead material. Okay? Now, decomposers are bacteria and fungi that break down or decompose the dead remains of plants and animals into simpler substances. These simple substances can again be reabsorbed by the plants. Okay, now the dead remains are absorbed by the soil. They will also release some nutrients. These nutrients again would be reabsorbed by the plant. Okay, now I will just draw a simple cycle that how nutrients are returned to the soil, and then we are done with this chapter. Okay, now how it is done? First what happens? First is the producers. Means green plants that produce all the food. Green plants. What do? They are eaten. They are eaten by whom? They are eaten by consumers. We consume plants, right? We are consumers or the animals. Okay. Animals are the consumers. Now, when animals die, what happens? The decomposers break their body. Okay, and what are the decomposers? Bacteria and fungi. Okay, these decomposers break it down or decay it. Decay means breaking it down so that the soil can absorb it. Okay, okay, they decay it into soil and then soil absorbs it in the form of, and minerals are released from those body parts. Okay, in the form of salts and water. Now again, what will happen? These all things, soil, minerals, salts, water, are again absorbed by the plant. Right? Now, if plants also die, what will happen? The decompose will decay them also. Right? So you can see a cycle plus a between line between all the types of producers, consumers, decomposers, or simply you can call this as a food chain. Okay? So now we are done with the biology chapter, nutrition in plants. Okay?